we have different kind of numbers. So let's learn the name for each kind. First of all, natural number. Definition of natural number is counting numbers. If I ask you to count, you will begin from 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? So counting numbers start from 1. Then the whole number. Whole numbers is the natural number, and the 0. It means the whole number is 0 or 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 and so on. Integers. Integers are the positive and negative number like 0, plus minus 1, plus minus 2, plus minus 3, plus minus 4 and so on. So integer means the whole number and including the negative part of it. The rational number. Rational numbers including the integers and the fraction. For example, you have plus minus 2 over 3, plus minus 3. It is the rational number because if you divide it by 1, it's the same as 3. And irrational number is the number that you cannot perform as a fraction, like square root of 2. When you calculate the square root of 2, it's just on and on and on, 1.4, 1, and so on and so on. Or the number like the pi is like 3.14 and so on and so on. It never stops. Or square root of 3 over 2 is also irrational number. We have the real numbers. The real number is include the rational and irrational. And what about complex number? We learn in section 6.8. Complex number have to have the I is in the form of A plus BI. So A and B are the real numbers. Sometimes the complex number, for example, 5 is also a complex number because 5 we can write as 5 plus 0i because 0 considered a real number. Or we may have 3i. This is, you can write as 0 plus 3i, and this is the complex number. Or we have 0 only, then the A and B are the complex number. So we can write as 0 plus 0i. So we go back to all of the example above, then we give the name for each case. Now let's go to example number 1. We look at number 1 and look at the answer for the x. We got the answer is 1/3 and negative 3 over 4. And what is the name of this? This is rational numbers, right? Rational numbers. So when you solve for quadratic equation, you get the answer rational number. You go back to the problem and recall how do we get this answer. The important thing is that you look at the square root. If you have the square root and the number 169 is the perfect square, then the answer will be rational numbers. Now we look at example number 2. What is this one? This one is irrational. irrational numbers. And we look at the square root. We got the answer is square root of 24, and 24 is not the perfect square number. So we got two answers, and the two answers are irrational numbers. In example number 3, we have the answer is 2 over 3, and that is the rational, but in this problem we only have 1. So we look at the square root. We got the square root of 0. And the last one, we look at the square root. The square root is square root of a negative number. So we got two complex solution, right? Two complex solution, two complex numbers. So we can determine the name of the solution based on the square root, based on the part of b squared minus 4ac. So we have the name for this. B squared minus 4ac is the discriminant.